Hello, hello. This is Tommy Thomas coming to you live from T-ster Talk, and today's topic we will be talking about IBS, which is short for Irritable Bowel Syndrome. And guess what, folks? I have a beautiful guest with me, my lovely wife, Kalisa. Welcome to the show, Kalisa.
Thank you, T-ster.
All right, all right. So we're going to get right down to it. This is a subject that's really sensitive to us. My wife obviously struggles with this system, and it has affected a lot of people around the country and around the world, and we're just trying to bring awareness to it. And, without further ado, I'm going to let my wife tell you more about it. But first, I just want to let you know what IBS is really affecting people and what the symptoms are, okay? So basically, it causes uncomfortable or painful abdominal symptoms. Constipation, diarrhea, gas, and bloating are very common with symptoms of IBS. IBS doesn't damage your digestive tract or raise your risk for colon cancer. You can often manage symptoms through medication and diet and lifestyle changes. And that's very serious because, if you have this and you're experiencing some things, obviously we want to live longer and make sure our lives are healthy. And this is just one of the situations where a lot of people experience this, and probably a lot of people don't talk about it. We've experienced it a lot, and it's very, very painful, and it's scary. And it can get you to really think about things that you eat and how you conduct your life on a daily basis. So overall, the system that we have looked up is called the IBS, is a group of symptoms that affect your digestive system. It is really uncomfortable, right? It can just mess you up. My wife is going to talk more about this. I'm just giving you the headliners. So what are the types of IBS that you have? Most researchers have looked at IBS based on how your stools and poop look in the days when you are having these symptoms. So when you go to the bathroom, they actually can look at how it looks. They can determine the seriousness of it, and then that's how they develop what they develop, and then they can give you a better diagnosis with that, right? So you have a lot of things that also that they can find out with the diarrhea also. Most of your poop is loose and it's watery, right? You might have mixed bowel habits, right? You might have both hard and lumpy, right? You might have movements of loose and watery movements. It's just one of those things that you just really don't know until you experience it. So how common is it? It's very common. Experts estimate that about 10% to 15% of adults in the United States have IBS. Hey, a lot of people don't even know they have it, right? They just go to the bathroom, they have these symptoms, and it's important to check with your doctor, get these things checked out. So only about 5 to 7% people see a provider about it. So the diagnosis is very key to what you're going through. You just have to be aware and not afraid to go check yourself out. But without further ado, I would like to bring on my guest, my wife, Kalisa, and she's going to tell you more about it, obviously, because I'm learning about it through her, and I wanted to make sure I was doing my just due to bring awareness to it. So, Kalisa, can you tell us what are the type of things that you've experienced, and give us the long history, the background. How long have you been going through this?
Probably since I was a little girl, remembering when I'm like 5 or older, I would eat certain things and my stomach would hurt, like pizza and stuff, and I would get sick to my stomach and all this kind of different things. And in our family, or my mom's side of the family, we had trouble with like gallbladders and all that kind of stuff. I wound up having to get mine out because I had gallstones. And that was very painful. And that was probably around 2004. So I thought, okay, all my stomach problems should be over. But no, later on, now I've been diagnosed with IBS, I would say, probably over the last few years because of what's been happening. And also I've learned with IBS comes anxiety, depression, and I have those things as well. So, and stress kind of makes it even worse. And then, I don't know about anybody else, but when I am experiencing IBS symptoms, that makes me more stressed and anxious, and my body kind of seem like my brain and my gut are not working together, and it's just like a total meltdown to us. That's what it feels like to me. And my husband, T-ster, has had to take me to doctors or the hospital, and one time, unfortunately, I felt that one day that was the end for me. I was in such pain, and I was vomiting and going to the bathroom at the same time. Not a good feeling, folks. And I thought, oh Lord, this must be it. I mean, I was hyperventilating, and it was just a bad thing. So I had to keep going to my doctor. So I would say now I'm on medication to kind of help keep me calm. And then I'm on dicyclomine, which is a common medicine these days for IBS. I have to take that like three times a day, and you can take it up to 4, but sometimes I do 2 or at least max 3. And that kind of helps with, because it does something with your colon. I mean, they call it spastic colon, all these different things, but, and I've had, tests and colonoscopies and stuff, and, the doctor said, he sees a little bit of, like in my esophagus, acid stuff, but, he's told my husband, she needs to, control her stress. Some I can, and a lot of it I can't. But it definitely affects me a lot. If you do a job application these days, if you look under it where it says you have a disability, you will see IBS included with the gastrointestinal disorders. So it is a bad thing. So right now I'm still working through it. Taking, first of all, praying to God to help me get through it. I'm trying to eat things simple, not too complex, to help my body and my brain work together. Taking the medications. I am now speaking with a counselor. So hopefully all that I'm trying to do will help all of this, or help me cope better with it. Okay. But it is a very exhausting condition because I don't know when it's going to happen. I could eat like a turkey sandwich today, and something could be in it or on it, whatever, that just, my body's like, no, and, I'll start sweating, I'll get all the stomach pain. We could be watching TV or movie, and after we've eaten something, and my husband said, you gotta go, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. So I'm just, it's a lot. It really is a lot.
So as you can hear, that's a full-blown experience, right? And what are the symptoms of IBS, right? So the things that she's talking about, you may have some abdominal pain or cramps, right? Usually it's related to an urge to poop. So it could just be something normal that you think is a routine thing. It's not routine. It could be something more. You can have excess gas or bloating. Just think about that. A lot of people bloat and they don't think anything of it. Diarrhea, constipation, alternate between the two of them.
Or a mix.
Right? You can get a combination. Mucus in your poop. It kind of looks whitish. These are kind of things that you need to look for that are really alarming, but not scary, not to put you in a freak zone, but it's something that you need to call your provider immediately and just try to find out what's going on. And then there's also some issues where you're feeling like you're unable to empty your bowels right after pooping. Like you might have an episode, and then later on, right within a few minutes, few seconds, you might not be able to poop again for a while, and then it really needs to come out, and then you're experiencing all this anxiety and all this, turmoil because you don't know what's going on, and it's just a lot of stuff that you need to really look at. So we just wanted to bring some awareness of these issues because it is very serious. I have witnessed it firsthand, and I'm telling you, it's nothing to smile about. It is really scary for the person who's going through it, but let alone the person who's caring for you. And if they don't know what's going on, then you both don't know what's going on, then obviously you need to call 911, find out somebody who can come in medically and understand what you're going through, right? And I'm going to roll down a few things right here. So says what causes IBS, right? Now she has mentioned a few things food-wise. It could be some other things, right? It could be something psychologically stressful. You know, check your family history, right? It could be something in your family that you don't discuss with your family, and you don't know what's coming up, and you're doing the exact same repeat of somebody who's been in your family has had the same experience. That is key communication, right? So you may be having problems with the GI muscles, right? To contract and move food through your GI tract. Those are something that it could be hereditary. Like I said, your colon, your large intestine, there's a muscle that tends to contract more in people with IBS. So if that's something that's an issue, that's something a doctor can evaluate and do an x-ray and do all the things that they need to do medically. You can have some hypersensitivity, right? You may have some extra sensitive nerves in your tract that you're not even aware of. We just go our daily lives not knowing things about what's internal until we start experiencing it. And like my dad always say, your body will tell on you eventually, and it's going to talk to you and tell you to make sure that you get things done. So bottom line is we have sensitivities with food or allergies to certain things that might not agree with or something, that can contribute to IBS. Childhood stress, right? IBS is more common in people who experience severe stresses in childhood. She was explaining to you that she's been going through this for a long time. What else are some things that you might want to put out here that can be helpful to somebody who may not understand what they're doing and what's going on in their lives?
I know on Facebook there are a whole lot of groups for GI disorders like IBS, gallbladder, all those kind of different things. I would suggest looking, for a group, support group, or, some friends or family, because you're going to need that support, because it can be very frustrating, and I know it's frustrated me so much into tears. I'm like, why is this happening to me, or why is this? And every time I get in pain, it's scary because I feel like, oh boy, this is it, and thank God it's not. And I just, my husband, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in God.
Absolutely.
You can't give up. Like my church says, never give up.
Never give up, never surrender.
But,
that's my motto.
It just when I'm like I don't know anybody else, but for me, when I'm going through it, it's just the worst feeling. Other than having gallstones, I could describe, and that was very painful too. So I would just say, like you said, look in your family history, find some support groups, reach out to your providers. Look online. You could, find some more information about it. There's books, like on Amazon. I've gotten that talk about the disease, talk about what you can eat, what you can try to do. The most important thing I see is that you have to, watch your stress level. You may have to change some things. You may have to change a job. You may have to change the way you eat. Maybe you need to get out and get exercise. I know I need to. I work from home, but I need to get out, get some fresh air, to try to help my body feel better.
Okay, so those are good things that you brought up, and we can go on about a lot of things, but the main thing is to bring awareness to what's going on. Look at your foods and look at the things that you eat. Everything's not good for you that you put in your mouth, and you are responsible for what you put in your body, and your body's dependent on you to do right. Otherwise, it's going to show you and tell you that it doesn't like what you're selecting. So, like I said, a lot of stuff is stressful, but do not panic. It's not life-threatening, but the pain is excruciating. It can feel that way, and if you don't know what's going on and don't get help, then it can turn into something serious. So I just wanted to bring some awareness to you today. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe, hit the like button, and please make a comment if you have any suggestions for others that can be helpful that we have not discussed, that we're not aware of. Please share your opinion and what you think of this. And as always, we appreciate it. And I want to thank my wife for joining me and expressing herself and giving you some insight to the show. And we really appreciate her. And we appreciate all the support that you've given us. And as always, we thank you always for T-ster Talk. And you have a wonderful day. You take care. Bye. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.